Hey, hi guys. I couldn't record videos for last 2 weeks, and you can see that from my grown beard, as you could compare with the last video that I posted. Okay, so this in this chapter, in this video, I will quickly go through the chapters which I've read. So I think there are 5 to 6 chapters, but uh, I felt the book was quite slow through these chapters. Like there were a lot of unnecessary details, and the pace was kinda lost. So we'll go through all these chapters very quickly. I have prepared a gist of all these chapters, and within 10 to 15 minutes we'll try to finish it all. Okay, so as I have summarized like in the last video, that Howard and Dominic are in the same city, and there there might be few things can happen between them, and then the story can lead from that point. Okay, so that's the same thing happened. Dominic has visited the quarry. Basically, it is owned by her father. So she goes to the quarry and she finds Howard there. And as Dominic's personality is quite unique, and she thought that every worker in the quarry would be apologetic, and they would be, having a sadness and a misfortune that they have to work here, and they are not fortunate enough to make more money, make a lot of money, and have lived a good and prosperous life, and they are underprivileged. So she thought that she would find those kind of men over there, but once she saw Howard, like Howard is working there, and there is no apology in his eyes. His eyes are very intense, and like he has this personality like very few could understand, right? And it is very intimidating. So by seeing that, Dominic is very impressed, and first time she feels like she has interest in men, or for that matter in anybody like other than her. And then Howard also sees her, and then she repeatedly visits the quarry, and then they talk, and then Dominic asks Howard to come to his home to fix tiles in her washroom, which she herself have broken, so that Howard can come home. And then that's how they met. And later on, Howard visited her house, and he kissed her, like basically very violently, and very wild they went about it. And Dominic, even though she was forced into this act, she did not resist, and she likes that. Like her idea of love is not something romantic. It's like she is looking for someone who could dominate her. So that sort of thing, and that happened. And after a day or two, Howard receives a letter from from a businessman called Enright, and he asked Howard to design his house, because Enright is very particular about his things, and he knows that Howard is a great guy who could provide the ideal house which he is looking for. So he writes to Howard and asks him to work for him. So by looking at the letter, Howard quickly resigns from his job from the quarry and goes to the New York, and then he starts working on the Enright house. And then as Enright is a big businessman, he also starts to gain some, fame, or he is getting popular, not very much as Peter Keating, but people also start discussing about Howard's work and the way he has designed the building, right? And then Dominic also comes back to New York, and she don't want Howard. She don't want to find Howard because she thinks that this is the freedom she has and she will lose all of it because by meeting Howard she would have this compulsion to meet him again and kiss him and be in a weird relationship with him or any of that sort, and she does not want this kind of compulsion and she likes her freedom very much, so she decided that she will not look for Howard in New York. But later on, Austin Heller, Howard's friend, whom Howard has built his first house. So his first project was given by uh, Austin Heller. So Austin asked him to come to a party, but Howard does not want to show up for this because he knows that he won't find any good people, and people are just uh, looking for architects to create buildings which would look good for others and which would make a status quo for themselves, and they do not believe in the authenticity of the work, authenticity of the building, the integrity of the design. So he do not want to come there. But then Austin Heller says that there would be multiple people present in that party. You could meet them and you could get multiple commissions because you are also getting famous. So he forces him, but Howard is not interested. But then Austin Heller says Dominic would also be there, this would be there, that would be there. And by hearing Dominic's name, Howard laughs that this is the place Dominic would never expect Howard to be. So that's why Howard goes to the party, and then Dominic sees Howard, and they talk very professionally as if nothing has happened between them before, uh, and they are meeting for the first time. And on the other hand, elsewhere too, he also meets Peter Keating, and as Peter has won that biggest building award and he is working on it, uh, Peter has gained a lot of fame, and he is the one of the best architects in New York now, the most prominent young architect. So his buzz is all around the town, and then elsewhere too he meets Peter, and by just talking for like few time he gets to know that the building is not prepared by Peter, and Peter also knows that Ellsworth has recognized that, but even then Ellsworth does not say anything to him. It is like he just comforting Peter that it's okay, that's fine, and all those things. And later he also asks Peter about Howard, if he know Howard, and he asks multiple questions like if he likes his work and does he compromise his work on getting money. So does money matter to him? And basically just to know Howard, like what kind of a man he is. So that's why he asks these questions to Peter, and then uh, later on, he in that same party meets Howard as well, and they just exchange some basic ideas. And uh, Dominic later meets Howard and tells him that uh, I will destroy you, because it's not like she hates him, but she has her own idea that remember I told you that Dominic has bought one beautiful statue and then broke it because she thinks nobody should be able to witness that beautiful statue apart from her. So this kind of idea she has, and uh, Howard is very devotional, very passionate about his work, and that's why his work is like the best thing that has come up. So that's why she says that I will destroy you, I will make sure that you will not get any commissions, and once I snatch any opportunity from you, I will come to your house and then we'll make love so that you'll know that you have been defeated by me on that day. So that's how they went ahead, and Dominic starts to write about Howard, like he is no professional and his buildings are no good and all those stuff. And by looking at the article, Howard's friend Austin Heller is very angry. Like, oh, what are you doing, Dominic? I thought you are a person of integrity, but you're just like uh, bought by the other players and Guy Franco, your father. So you're just working for them, and you're not believing in quality. You're just writing made up stuff. He's the great architect, but you are diminishing his image. So these kind of things, and that also ask and that uh, moreover, and that invites Dominic to visit the Enright house and tells her that look at the house, how beautiful it is, how thoughtfully he has designed it. It's the best house anybody can ever produce, and all those things. And I think that now she will write some positive, but she writes all negative things about Howard. And Howard looks at the paper and he smiles that he knows what actually Dominic is writing. And that night, Dominic comes to Howard's house, and they now meet very frequently, but nobody knows that both of them meet. Like everybody thinks that both are arch rivals because Dominic always hates or criticizes Howard's work, but Howard knows that what Dominic actually feels, and he is very happy reading her criticism. And it doesn't matter to him. Like Dominic has costed him like 5 to 6 commissions, but even then Howard has no complaints, and he is working for all the whatever the commissions he is receiving. And because of Dominic's criticism, she always refer Peter Keating as the best architect to the clients so that Peter would get the work. So the her intention is not to get the clients to Peter, but to snatch the clients from Howard. But Peter thinks, and Peter knows it that Dominic does not think he is the best architect, but there is some hidden agenda that Dominic has, uh, which is why she is referring all the clients to Peter, and he knows it. And he also discussed that with Dominic, but and he asked if she believes that he is the great architect, but Dominic just changed the subject, and then he goes away, uh, being satisfied that he is getting all the commissions and he is getting all the work and he is making money, right? So that's how the Peter chapter has ended. And now the author is digging into Ellsworth to hear like what kind of person Ellsworth is, right? So Ellsworth, being a very good observer, Ellsworth observed that what Dominic is doing is like very intentional, and it is not just about criticizing Howard's building, but she has some personal ref uh, going on. Uh, so Ellsworth with its Dominic's house and asks her that if she has met Howard before, if she knew him before the party, and why she likes to write all these things, why she is writing all such things, even though he is a good architect. But Dominic does not explain anything to him and ask him that this is my, ask him to go, like, what are you actually want to say, and all those stuff. Then Ellsworth says that I'll also let's team up and will destroy Howard. To that, Dominic does not understand why he is saying that. He asks Ellsworth that, hey, if you hates Howard, is there any reason to hate Howard? So for that he says that as you are not telling your reason for it, let me just not tell my reason for it. And to us, to readers also, it is very surprising that why Ellsworth is behaving like that, because Ellsworth before this chapter, Ellsworth is always portrayed as a noble man with integrity, with all the authenticity, you know, a good person or a very respectful character. So we also get surprised that why Ellsworth is doing saying all these things, and he says that let's team up and we will make sure that Howard will not get many commissions, and I will work my way. I will not write any recommendations in my columns. I will just ignore him in my magazine or in my column, and you also continue with your work, and together we will destroy Howard, or we will make sure that he won't get any commissions. And in the next chapter, the last chapter that I read was chapter 9. So there the author has explained the childhood of Ellsworth Toohey, like how he is very uh, a sharp guy right from his childhood. He is very manipulative, and he has studied multiple subjects right from religion, and the last subject which interested him is sociology. And the author also describes like how Ellsworth likes to manipulate people, and through a mask of goodwill and being a humanitarian, how he likes to manipulate people. Like there were instances where he advises people, like if there is one good architect, he says that nobody would work with you, or if there is one great artist or great painter, or anything which will let that person go beyond and above anything, he ask those person to work for something else and change his profession. Or he believes that nobody should be above the society, like nobody should be the best. So he's this analogy, like there shouldn't be any heroes, and everything would be based on socialism, communism, and nobody should be above anybody else. Every human should collectively work for a single common goal and very basic goal, so that everybody would get the same status, and there shouldn't be any great person. So that's how he manipulates people, so that they won't pursue whatever they have. Like if someone has a natural ability to paint, he says that it has come natural, so it is of no use to have to work for something else. So that's how he is, and that's when we realize that why Ellsworth is backing Peter, because Peter is also a not very great architect. He is just copying others, and he is a mediocre person. So, and that's why Ellsworth is also opposing Howard, because Howard is like a passionate guy who has some devotion about architect, and if he continues to uh, walk on the same path, he will be a great person. He will be a hero, and Ellsworth basically hates heroes. So that's how he manipulates the society, manipulates every person, and so that his word would be the final word, and there won't be any other great personas left. And even though there are great, they should be listening to his advice, and ultimately he would be the great person. So that's how he is. So author has given some instances, some incidents which portrays this personality of Tuhi, and that's how we understand that Tuhi's motives are like evil, and he does not want, even though he portrays to be a respectful good person, he does not like individualism, and he believes in collective efforts. So there won't be anybody great out there. Everyone would be a mediocre person, and that's why he is opposing Howard and supporting Peter. So that was the end of the chapter, and basically the whole summary. So let's see what happens in the chapter 10th of Tuhi's chapter. Okay. Then that's it from my side. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.